Greetings everyone, this is Lodrik and this is a game War in the Pacific Admirals Edition, and we will check still the play by email match against Jochen, and today we will enter the 22nd January 1942. So we can see American submarine in the bay of Tokyo and a lot of my sub hunters. I also retake this lost Vietnam town at the border to China. Jochen must move his unit maybe out of the town, and then the presence of my forces nearby was enough to flip the ownership. And there are some mines near to Singapore. And something just hit the mine, but it was not my ship so far, I see. Here's a Mark 14 submarine in the Shortlands. We are in shallow water, but it's unlikely that I can create a hit. No success. And this is now near to Sydney, and there's so many task forces now that I think it's better for me to reposition my submarines in the future. I cannot stay so close to the port more. Yeah, and after the mine hit, we get a sinking sound. And at least one or two, maybe three ships go down. I start or continue to pick up here the northern coast of New Guinea. Okay. And here are British subs still trying to block and pick up my movement out of Singapore direction of Rangoon. Luckily I have now some trained sub-hunter Air Force bomber or strike aircraft. Of course it is always hard for the Japanese Air Force without radar to really kill a submarine. But with a little luck I can create maybe a hit. But we can see there's at least 3 Dutch subs near Singapore in mines. So all the area of Singapore is polluted by pirates, scums, and enemies of the empire, at least. The daily airstrike against Clarkfield Airport. Train my pilot, burning enemy supplies, and making sure that Jochen cannot dig in again. I think this was the only big mistake I did in the Philippines, that I wait too long to strike for the airfield. I was first focusing on cleaning up all bases all around Clarkfield, and after I encircled everything, I focused for this engagement. Okay, I clean the skies and send in my bombers later. And mostly only support or non-combat units are disabled, but at least they are getting disabled. Less support for the Chinese, less fighting spirit for the army. One last strike with maybe this was not more necessary really to attack here the airport, but I not stop this attack. Maybe a mistake, but cost me only some supplies maybe. And my bomber force and escort fighters still get experience, so it's not really a complete waste. So still my support bombers are Singapore trying to help my Navy Guard units to lower the enemy morale and organization, and at least maybe also kill some squads, but mainly only disable and keep the fatigue high. Okay, and now it's Jochen's B-17s coming back, and I try my best to cover the air, but unlikely. Again, long-range cap against B-17s is not really a good possibility. My Oscars are too slow, and armament is also too weak to really damage the fortress, and the zero numbers are too little. But at least I can try to damage them. Yeah, and the damage is maybe very equally. Each B-17 I can damage, B-17's damage my zero, so I would still agree with this, and I would exchange a zero pilot and for airframe for a B-17 pilot and airframe. It's still much. It gives me 4 points, and Jochen only get 1 point, so it will be always 4 in advance or advantage for me. So, but now I lost 1-0 and can only damage some fortress, and maybe if I'm lucky I can create here operational. They're lost, but we will see. The only that the B-17s not hit my units is also, I mean, at least something. But now the big strike is coming, and I have only 1-0 left, so this is of course not really working. And I have a mechanical issue and must return to base. So nothing. The damage is not high, and this is a normal attack, so not more long range attack, so this damaged airplanes will not have so high likely ops loss, so maybe only go to maintenance. But at least here over Rabul I am now able to bring in some zeros. I send them more or less in advance from my carrier fleet returning to Rabul port. They have maybe a little high fatigue, so the pilots are not well rested. They have a little stress, so maybe they have not an easy day, but to secure and protect the port of Rabul, I must maybe do this now. And the clouds can at least try to damage this attack. And this long range B-17s. The Allies, they have the D and the E edition. The D edition have more range. I think 18 compared to 16. 2 hexes or 3 hexes more range. Same payload. But the defense armament of the D is more light machine guns, not this heavy machine guns. So if the airframe is damaged by this B-17s, it's often only damaged and can return to base. If there's a heavy machine gun hit, this have more damage potential. This is a little long fight. I'm not sure, maybe I can skip it now. Because most likely I will damage the B-17s but not kill them. So maybe I skip this. Yes. This is a little, you can see the B-17s, they get damaged but no kill at all. But a little damage here, a little damage there. Oh, there was maybe one kill. Oh, it looks like that we damaged more or less every bomber and kill even one. And the strike on my port was useless. And it's a long range attack, so more likely that this damage are crashing. And 3 more. And these 3 are able, maybe because they no one intercepts them, they create the one bomb hit, really make damage. And one of my cruiser mine layer gets hit, a heavy damage, maybe this is a kill. Unlucky, a little unlucky. And we're still hunting the submarines. Okay, my navy bombers, I don't know really why. Yeah, I mean, I sent them out for search and strike. Luckily, I can more or less bypass the enemy cap fighter. Unluckily, I come in the wrong attack range or strike range. So I was not able to attack because I used the torpedoes and I come not from port side. And yeah, then I miss the possibility to kill this ship. But here is the same now, Port Moresby. And now I come from starboard side, so this is the torpedo strike. And I get the torpedo. But this is only a light cargo ship, so not so important. Okay, one light cargo ship less. Still trying to slow down these Chinese forces. They are in open terrain, so more likely to create here some damage. Yeah, and my cruiser mine layer, but I think it's only a 2-3 point ship go down. So I landing here my Navy Guard units to take this base and float, and because they're normally float planes, so nearly no losses at the landing. Nearly. Here the same. And we have here some bombardment, more or less to test how strong is the Jochen, and if he moves some units away. I think I saw that one unit is moving, and if it's moving, maybe I can hit it with my artillery. But at the end, nothing really happens here. My bombardment. Oh, light. No, nearly no damage at all. But, so maybe it's time to strike again soon. First I want to finish this Malayan British army. So there's normally one full Indian division left. This is the core, plus here some brigade. So roughly 350 attack value. And I think double or triple defense location. But I have at least, I think 4-1 attack value. And the base is taken. And because I think, I don't know exactly, but if there's no base nearby, most of the units, I think they have a tendency to simply give up. And here everyone give up. Really, only surrender. So it is 4-1. The bigger, normally I lose some attack value, but the British forces are also maybe not in good shape or out of supplies. Officials have no morale, no preparation, and a shitty leader. Naja, I lost here some units, but only disabled. I think this is easy to replace. And Jochen lost here now all his British forces, and this is now, I think, really the official end of the Malayan campaign. Now I can say it's over. There are 2 units or 3 units still somewhere in the jungle, but they have no impact. This is only pick up here some mini location. Jochen tests my defense. But normally also nothing happened. He have doubled my attack value. Now Jochen tried to take Kukong, and I don't know if I will hold much longer. You can see that the Chinese, they have still 2 fully equipped divisions and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 support divisions. They call it corps, but the Chinese corps is like a Japanese division. and it was 1-1. You can see that the problem was that the Chinese are. They have the main problem is that the Chinese cannot bring their full attack value on the map, and so they suffer higher losses. Nothing really getting destroyed, but many are disabled. So I can hold a little longer, but the question is how long. And I'm lacking supplies, so I must maybe increase my transport airplane activity and try to bring in more supplies via airlifting. So we arrived at 23rd January 1942, and the aero was nothing really too special. I lost 3 of my Italia transport airplanes with supply missions. Also, Tina is burned out. I think this kind of supply missions without a base you can land, so they're flying to the base and drop the supplies out of the airplane without landing. And I think this is stress for the airplane and creates this operational losses. On the other hand, this supply airplanes, they have normally no other really use, so I can normally burn through them because this is only for their only purpose is like this airlifting and maybe paratrooper dropping. So I lost 1-0, but we also killed one fortress, so 1-1 kill ratio. I would say this is fine and nothing else happened. So very quiet air turn. And ship sunk was for me. I lost 1 point and Jochen lost 1 point, and at least there was some mine hits with 2 or 3 more ships sinking, so maybe a good turn for me, but this is a cruiser. I mean, this is really a 1 point ship, so nothing really special. And the problem is not the cruiser mine layers I'm missing. I simply only don't have mine, so most of my cruiser mine layers are important, have nothing to do. So there's also nothing really changed. And the points is roughly 10-1 kill ratio. So long I can keep the 10-1 kill ratio on air army side, I would say it's good. 10-1, keep it more or less. Air losses 2-1, in ship losses also at least 2-1 in points or better here. You can see this is roughly 4 times. So 4-1 kill ratio for Navy, air is 2-1, and land is 10-1 in advance or in favor for me. That is okay so far, I would say. Nothing really drastic changing. So in China we have no real change. The big problem is really that my army here in Changsha is broken and I must reorganize this, and I need time to prepare this. And now, of course, Jochen can bring in reinforcements and kick my paratroopers here out, and then he can open the supply lines again. But there's nothing more I can really do. Also, the situation in Kukong getting slowly but steadily let's say more complicated. My division holds the ground, but I am now nearly at 50, maybe I have 60% active and 40% disabled status. I'm not really lost much, so I'm total here at 220. Wait, no, not 220. 320, and so I have 321. So I lost only 3 infantry squads are really killed so far. The rest is only disabled. So I can maybe hold 3 more battles maximum, I would say. I have here 2 fort levels and I try to dig in. If I have this 3rd fort level, it will increase my defense, but I'm not sure this really needs a long time. So I don't know if I can hold so long. Yeah, even if I lose here now all these units, of course this will be a second defeat for the Japanese army in China, but it will not really destroy my effort to win this war. It will be a setback then, yeah, but I can normally reinforce my units and always come back in China. All of this stuff can, like the Chinese, they can always come back. The Japanese army also always can come back. This is a stalemate, and so long I don't lose completely the control over the center area. Now I already captured this stuff, so yeah. And now China has the advantage that they're getting the supply from Rangoon. Once I take Rangoon, maybe in 1 month or latest in 2 months, if this is under Japanese control, then there is no supplies more coming. Then only per airlift, and this is simply never enough. So, latest in April, I would say the Chinese will have problems with supplies. Normally. So, and this also means, in the THE game, if you don't take Rangoon, you will normally not win the war in China. Let's say, certainly, if the Chinese have enough supplies, they always can fall back. And latest, this line I would say is hard to crack because this is all heavy mountains. This cities is still possible to overcome, and this 2-3 cities also. But I think this, if the player know what he's doing, he can block here normally heavy terrain, enough supplies, and dig in and dig in and dig in and dig in. So this is normally the core of China. It's nearly impossible to take if the Chinese have enough supplies. And also the same here in the north. If enough supplies, you can always fight here for every hex, and it's heavy mountains, hard. So, but the good news is Malaya is now, completely taken. So okay, here's 1 unit I must clean up next turn, but this is only 1 last unit. And I have here some tank forces, and this is clean up. And these 2 forces, I don't care. Later I send some Thai units in, and maybe I wait 1 or 2 weeks, and then these units are totally starved out. Or I use them for bomber practice, I will see. I take Medan, and I'm waiting that normally these forces are clear out, and then I run behind. I only want to give my units some rest, but there's not much more here to do. There's still this, these are Dutch subs, yeah, they're grey. So, Dutch subs are here, and I think British subs are here somewhere. At least I get sometimes detection. So, this cleaning mines of Palmbank was not working, so I skip this, and then I first focus completely on Java. I bypass here Celebris without any airstrikes. So maybe Jochen have here no air force left. I will see how much air force is waiting for me in Java, and if the Dutch forces can. I mean, normally they will try to strike my landing crafts and my transport ships, because if they cannot kill them on the sea, it's hard for the Dutch forces to win the war here at the land. Yeah, I can also see that here is a lot of bombers. 71 bombers are here. I only see bombers, I don't see the fighters, so I don't know where they are now, but I think still some in Palmbank, 22, so maybe in the future I must sweep Palmbank again. We will see. And here I only pick up, and then I will normally use this small detachment. Nothing really crazy here, only small unit. I think I will bring it down and try to take this base, and then maybe this base, and see how strong is here the defense. Normally there's only base force, so we will see. And here is only some DMS. Nothing left here. Only new fuel, so I bring here some ships inside to refuel and then strike again. Or ship out again. And here, so my carrier force is on the way back. I have here still detection, but I think this is old detection, so not more sure. But I am on the way back to Rabaul. I must fix some damage here, mainly to my air wing, but also the Suryo getting some more damage, this 11 system damage and 2 engine damage I can fix quickly. Maybe 1 week in in port. There's no shipyard, but I will go back, maybe need 3-4 days to fix most of the damage, and then I will departure again, because I must still use this time to pressure, and maybe if I'm lucky I can catch one or at least one cargo convoy again. I have here still 66 fighters now and no Maya, so we will see. Anything else? My subs have not so much luck this turns. I normally completely empty Saigon now. There's still some fuel and supplies left in some ships. But in the next days I will bring all of Saigon to Singapore. And from Singapore I will bring it to Medan I need normally, because there's fuel and other stuff. I need here some base. Then I must also take Palembang. These are the 2 cities normally in all of Sumatra important. But the main focus point is first Java. Surabaya, Batavia. Once I take these 2 cities, normally nothing can more really escape and running out. And then Palembang stay on its own. And then it's a question of time. So I really, the Battle of Java must end latest end of February. I want to take normally Java and even Palembang. In the dojo game I was too slow. So end of February must be this. So means end of March I must also finish with Rangoon. So, because 1st of April I have no invasion bonus more. Keep this in mind. Thank you. I think this is first enough. Nothing big happened, but the big battle of Malaya. Thank you all. Take care. Bye bye.